Chosen One, before this message goes any further, I need you to understand something about the moment you are in right now. This is not a mistake. It's not a spiritual platitude to say that. In this very moment, that is a statement of fact about the architecture. God made sure you found it in time. Hold on to that sentence. Don't let it go. This wasn't left up to chance. It was made sure. This wasn't just something that came up because it matched what you had watched before. The word you are reading now came into your life because of a specific divine movement. The word in time is the most important part of that sentence. In time means that this message is meant to be read at a certain time, like a window, and you are in it, not past it or coming up behind it. It's not a coincidence that you are ready. This message has the right information, and this moment is here at the right time. It is set up, and the platform you found it on is not the one who put it together. It's God. Let me talk about what that arrangement means in real life, because I think that the chosen one sometimes hears a word like this, one that talks about divine positioning and exact timing, and takes it in a warm but general way. They should take it as a spiritual boost rather than specific information about how the present moment is structured. That is the kind of information I want to give you. God makes sure that certain things happen to the person He has chosen. In the plot of your story, He is not passive. He places words, people, meetings, and moments at certain times in the journey of the chosen one, when those things are needed and ready to be received the most. This is one of those times. That's what I'm telling you. One of those things is this message. And the fact that you found it right now is one of those arrangements. In other words, what comes next in this message is not a coincidence. It's not just spiritual content that got through to you. There is specific content that was made just for the chosen one who is at the exact point in their journey where this content is what they need. That's a strong claim. That's what I stand for. What do I mean when I say, God made sure you found this in time? The phrase, in time, has a lot of meaning that I want to break down for you. In the sacred understanding of the chosen one's journey, time is not a neutral thing. It's not just the place where things happen. It's time for changes. It's also true that during certain seasons, certain words or encounters carry more weight than others. The word was true before that, but the ground wasn't ready to fully receive it. The word is still true after that, but something has happened. The window is the time when the word, the ground, and the desire are all in sync. You're in the window. That's what it means to be in time. It's not like you just barely made it, that the time is right, that this word is happening to you at the exact time it was meant to. So, the weight of what comes next is not the usual weight of spiritual encouragement. It's the exact weight of a word that comes into its window. I'd also like to talk about the word coincidence and why I used it at the beginning. This is because the chosen one who finds this word and knows that something in it speaks directly to something they carry will often feel the pull of a thought that brushes it off. The idea that this video was just a coincidence and that the way it makes you feel is because of good content rather than divine placement. The timing is more of an atmosphere than a specific time. I need to name that thought and be sure I know what it is. It's not discernment. It is not a reasonable assessment. It's a reflex that the chosen one developed during times when the expected divine positioning didn't happen or took too long. A protective skepticism that learned to downplay the importance of spiritual experiences because it hurt less to downplay them than to fully believe in them and be let down. In the seasons where it formed, that reflex made sense. I'm not putting it down. I'm giving it a name so that it doesn't work invisibly right now. Because this is not a time when the skeptical approach that protects you is helpful. This is the point where it costs you. The price is being able to fully understand a word that God made sure got to you at the right time. Read this carefully and with an open mind, but read it all the way through. Allow the resonance you feel to be what it is, confirmation. That person who is chosen and finds a word that fits what they carry so well has not found good content. They are rooted in a certain word at a certain time by a God who plans things like this. There is always a reason why God makes sure you find something at the right time. So let me tell you what He was protecting you from. God does not put a word in front of the chosen one just so the word can be used. He places the word where it is because of what it allows, what it frees, what it confirms, and what it gives the chosen one the tools to do next. The word that God made sure you found isn't just something to cheer you up right now. This is getting ready for what will happen after this. People who are chosen and fully receive this word, who doesn't let their protective skepticism take away its weight, leave this message ready for something and equipped for something. They leave with a specific clarification, confirmation, or release that makes the next step easier to take than it was before they found this. Not just comfort in the present, but also being ready for what's to come. That's what God was protecting you for. That person who was chosen and is in this message will soon do something that needs this word as a base. It's important for the next step. So God made sure you found it. Now I'll get to the point of what I want to say. There are things that the chosen one is carrying right now that this message was placed to connect with. And I want to name some of them so that the chosen one who is holding back full reception, because they want to see if the message is clear enough, can let go of their worry and fully receive what is here. Right now, the way things are going doesn't match up with what you know is going to happen. There is a gap, a very specific gap, between the reality of the call you carry and the reality of what has happened. Because of that gap, there has been a certain kind of spiritual fatigue, not hopelessness or loss of faith, but fatigue. Keeping your faith through a gap that is still there has a wearing effect. God saw the space. From far away, he couldn't see it. He was with you the whole time and made sure you got this message on time. Not early enough to stop the gap, but early enough to get the word that fills it and the understanding that bridges the gap between what you've been holding on to and what is now moving toward you. This season's chosen one also carries something else. In a world that hasn't yet proven that you were made for a certain thing, knowing that you were made for that thing gives you weight. The call is inside. The proof isn't there or isn't strong. And the daily work of keeping up the inner, knowing without external confirmation, causes a certain kind of invisible exhaustion. This tiredness is something I want to call out, because I think the chosen one doesn't always let themselves admit it. There is a spiritual urge, and in some ways a real urge, to be thankful for how hard the calling is instead of complaining about it. If you want to honor the honor of being chosen, don't think about what it costs. But that instinct works against fully receiving a word like this one, when it turns into a refusal to see the real weight of what the formation season takes from the chosen one. God made sure you found the word on time, but it's not for someone who fakes that the wait wasn't long. It's a word for the chosen one who stood where the word that addresses it has arrived, because they carried the full weight, know exactly what it cost, and have been honest about how hard the season has been. That's you, and the word is right here. You found it just in time. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, We want your presence. When you head to our community, through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site, you are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today. Join our community and see what God brings back into your life. There is also a certain weight that the chosen one has when two experiences coincide. The first experience is being inside, knowing that the call is real and that the person is on their way. The second experience is the long-lasting lack of that arrival in the form of a visible thing. When those two feelings stay in the same part of the mind at the same time for a long time, they make something that is harder to describe than doubt. On the inside, there is a kind of spiritual pressure between knowing and not knowing yet. This is the word that speaks into that tight space. So God made sure you found it in time. Not to downplay it or downplay the weight of what the long gap between knowing and not knowing has cost, but to say something specific about it. The pressure is about to let go. What was stuck between knowing and not yet is about to come together. The phrase, "in time," means that you got this message in the window right before that convergence. Type found in the comments if you can picture what I'm talking about. Type found if you know there is a gap between what you know on the inside and what you see on the outside. Now, I want to explain more about what it means that God made sure you found this on time. Because I said it wasn't a coincidence, and I stand by what I said. To do that, I need to talk about how the chosen one is led, not just talk about it in general terms. How divine positioning actually works in the life of someone with a calling, in the actual, lived terms of that person. There are more than dramatic meetings, clear voices, vivid dreams, and clear signs that the chosen one is being led. Many of the clues that shape the path of the chosen one's journey are not obvious. It's the thought that comes without a clear source. The strong desire to do something that can't be fully explained. When you know something is important before you fully understand why it is important. And the recognition moment, that is when the chosen one sees something and knows deep down that it has something to do with them, is itself a form of divine guidance. If you could relate to how I describe how you felt when you found this message, it wasn't because it was good content. It was the response of someone who had been chosen and was in the right place to find something. The confirmation is the feeling of being known. God made sure you found it because He knew what would open up when you did. As we stand here, let me say a few words about how God structures His protection of the chosen one. Because the enemy of the chosen one doesn't just fight directly. He also acts like a gentle pull away from the very moments, words, and encounters that God put in front of them. A tiredness that makes you scroll past, a distraction that shows up just as the word you need it, and a voice of logical dismissal that says the recognition you feel is just wishful thinking and not confirmation. You didn't scroll past. Since you're here, whatever was trying to stop this moment from happening did not succeed. Also, I want you to know that your presence here is not passive. It was your choice to stay with this word, even if you weren't fully aware of it at the time. This choice is important, and it fits with the pattern of the chosen one who, during the formation season, has always chosen to stay with the call, even when there were things were pushing them away. Because this word is so important at this time, I want to talk about what the chosen one means in particular. Because it's not just what the word says that matters. It's also when it comes in relation to what is going on in the person it's for's inside and outside life. The same word that was sent before its time lands on ground that isn't ready for it yet. It lands on ready ground and makes something completely different when it is received in its moment. God also made sure that this word got to you at the right time. Something is going on in the life of the chosen one who is reading this message at the moment. From the outside, there is still something that can't be seen fully, a movement, a shifting, a set of things were fixed, starting to come loose, and a feeling that something is coming that can't quite be named yet, but can be felt in the way things are different now than they were months and years ago. Because this word is part of the shifting. God made sure you found it in the window of that shifting. One of the tools of the movement is this. Let me be clear about something that the chosen one has been going through this season. Not just the normal weight of carrying a call through a formation season. There has been a weight. A certain weight that comes with the threshold moment, that time when something is very close, but still far away. The chosen one can feel both how close what's coming is and how far away they are from where it lands. It is one of the worst kinds of spiritual pressure for the chosen one to feel that threshold weight. The threshold is the point where the chosen one has just enough proof to know that the arrival is real and close, but not enough proof to let go of all the weight. It's almost as close as the formation season. This is not yet the arrival season, and it is different from both the depth of the formation and the clarity of the full arrival in its own way. God made sure you found this word because the chosen one at the threshold needs a word that describes that threshold. It can't be a word about formation or arrival. It has to be a word that describes the exact moment they are in. You've reached the edge. This is the threshold word, and the timing isn't a mistake. I also want to talk to the people around the chosen one right now, because the chosen one at the threshold often has a certain kind of relationship experience. People close to them, even those who care about them and love them, don't always fully understand what the chosen one is standing on the edge of. They can see the chosen one's current location in the outside world. It's not clear to them what the chosen one really carries or how close what's coming is, and the chosen one feels lonely because of the difference between what they know and what other people can see. When someone is chosen at the threshold, they sometimes can't see past it. Let me talk about what happens after the threshold. The threshold is the main feeling, and from inside it, it can seem like the final state instead of a stepping stone, as if the fact that the arrival is getting closer is proof that it will always be getting closer, but never fully land. I want to talk about that fear right away. The threshold is a state of change. It's not going to last. It's the last step before the arrival season starts in earnest. It's not possible for the chosen one who has made it to the threshold, been through the whole formation season, and is now close to the arrival state, to stay there forever. The threshold is reached. It comes to an end with the arrival. And the arrival season that starts after the threshold is related to both the formation season and the threshold experience. What did the threshold make you feel? The excitement, closeness, and unique sense of readiness that only comes from being on the edge of something is itself preparation for what comes next. God made sure you found it in time. In its broadest sense, That means the threshold window is not closing. It's going open. It's not the last second before something closes that something is in time. It's the start of something that will soon be fully open. I want to talk about one more aspect of what the chosen one at the threshold is going through. That aspect is the kind of faith that is needed during this season. As the formation season comes to an end, the faith that was there will last. Faith tells us that the call is real, even when we can't see proof of it. The faith of the threshold season is not the same as other faiths. This kind of faith doesn't prepare itself for what's coming, but instead gets ready to receive it. It is not easy to go from having faith that is supported to having faith that is received. The chosen one, who spent a long time developing the muscles of maintaining faith, now needs to make a conscious movement inside to engage the muscles of receiving faith. Faith that lasts keeps going, opening up to faith. And the threshold is the exact spot where the change needs to take place. Thanks to this word, God made sure you found it at the right time. It is a part of that transition. People who actively receive are the ones who walk into what is coming instead of waiting for it to fully form before moving toward it. Who moves toward the open door before it's fully open? Who talks to something that is going to happen as if it were already happening? Not because they think it's true, but because it doesn't match up with what they know to be true. That's how you should stand to receive faith. Furthermore, the threshold is the time of year when it turns into the chosen one's main mode. In the comments, type yes if you feel like you're at this point in the transition. You should type yes if you know that this season calls for you to change from giving to receiving. I want to add something that is directly related to what I have been saying. I've been talking about the threshold, the unique weight of the chosen one who is on the edge of something important, and the mental, spiritual, and emotional costs of a long formation season. And I want to talk about a certain part of that cost that I have been holding back for this part of the message. Not only does the formation season cost the chosen one spiritually, it also hurts the way they think. This is something I've talked about in other messages, but I want to name it here because of what I'm about to say. This kind of mental weight, the constant weight of carrying something invisible, of keeping faith through long periods of time between knowing something inside and getting confirmation from the outside world, makes it harder for the chosen one to think clearly and easily. It shows up in the way creative ideas are seen. People who have been chosen and are in a sustained formation season often feel like they aren't as creative as they were in earlier seasons. The insights that used to come easily are now only happening sometimes. The clarity that used to be easy to get is now something that needs to be worked for instead of just happening naturally. And the chosen one says, this is because of how hard the season is. But they don't fully understand that there is a physiological reason for it. The times when you feel creatively clear, when you pray hard, and when you have to make tough decisions, all have a scientific basis. The Nobel Prize in Physiology was given to a study in 1981 that showed very clearly how the human brain is meant to work. Roger Sperry, the researcher, spent years looking into how the two sides of the brain talk to each other. He discovered that when the brain is working at its best, it works as a single unit. When this pattern is present, both hemispheres talk to each other in a way that makes thinking, perceiving, and receiving very different from what most adults experience. It is said that 98% of kids test at the genius level in this combined skill. When those people become adults, less than 2% of them still regularly use it. This loss is made worse by the formation season. Carrying an unresolved issue or holding a call without external confirmation for months or years adds to your mental load and messes up the pattern of cross-hemisphere integration that the Nobel Prize research found. And the result is exactly what I said it would be: a narrowing, a heavy feeling, and a harder time having creative thoughts and spiritual reception. I want to tell you about a woman who got in touch with me after reading this message. She said that her formation season lasted 7 years. During those years, she held something she couldn't fully explain in a world that couldn't see it. She had a strong conviction inside her that she couldn't rationalize away, even when she wanted to. She perfectly described the cognitive dimension I just mentioned: the heaviness, the sporadic clarity, and the feeling that her mind wasn't working at the level she knew it could. She said she started using something for 8 minutes a day with her eyes closed and headphones on. Within the first week, she said, something started to change slowly but surely. She started to feel lighter in her mind. The creative insight that had been coming and going became more stable. What she said about her prayer life changed in a way she didn't expect. By the second week, the channel seemed to be better. It was easier to get in. It was restored that she used the word, not improved. It was like something that had been stifled was being let out to do what it was meant to do. A man said something like this. He talked about the specific tiredness of the formation season and the mental and spiritual weight of years of holding on. He also said that after using this tool for 30 days, it wasn't just his ability to think clearly that changed, but also the quality of the decisions he made. The discernment that had become hard to use was made easy to use again. He said he could feel the direction better, and that the fog that was sticking around him was gone. He said that the specific clarity of mind he had in earlier seasons, before the extended formation started, had come back. What they both saw was made by a group of people led by Dr. Daniel Barone, a neurosurgeon in New York City. He spent years researching the exact way that cross-hemisphere integration is broken and then fixed. And the thing that his team made is not a brainwave product. Frequency therapy is not what it is. It's not an app for meditation. I want to make these differences very clear because they are important. Neural sync technology is a certain kind of audio delivery system that fixes the pattern of integration that gets messed up during the waiting season and gets it back to how the brain was designed to work. The smart switch is what they call it. Every day for 8 minutes with headphones on and eyes closed. The clarity that comes back isn't fake. Because of sustained formation season pressure, your original clarity was stifled. Now it is being returned to the way it was meant to work. Not everyone can use the genius switch. It's for the chosen one who knows what I mean about the mental side of the formation season, those who have felt the heaviness, the narrowing, and the moments of clarity, those who are on the verge of something big and want to enter the arrival season with all of their abilities, working at the level that arrival needs. For the person who has been chosen and knows that what is opening needs all of them, not just the spiritual one, and who wants to walk into what's opening with all the tools they need. At first, Dr. Barone set the price at the level of a professional consultation, which was several $100s. When his co-workers pushed back, he lowered it a lot. The price that is shown is $149. Today, the page for the chosen person who sees this message costs $39 and comes with 4 free bonuses when you check out. A guided visualization protocol, a morning clarity sequence, a breakthrough journal framework, an audio for recovery sleep, and a guarantee that you can get your money back in full, no questions asked. There are no requirements and no inquiries. One last note to be clear before I go on. There are products that use language, like the one I'm talking about. There are brainwave products, frequency tools, and meditation apps that claim to improve brain function. For the most part, They all work in very different ways. Cross-hemisphere integration was the subject of a Nobel Prize-winning study that the genius switch is based on. It is not a type of product. It is the exact tool made from the exact science and used through a unique delivery system. That difference is important. And I want the chosen one who reads this message to understand it well. If your spirit says it's true, the link is in the description and the comment below that has been pinned. I want to say one more thing about why this information is important for this message. God made sure you found it in time. Just in time for the word. This is part of the word. Every part of a chosen person who is about to make a big arrival, who has been through a long season of formation, and who is about to walk into what God planned for them, needs to be at full capacity. There is the spiritual dimension and the mental dimension. Being able to see clearly what is opening up and being creative enough to fully engage with it. God made sure you found this because you need it for the arrival. Part of what God made sure you found is what talks about the cost of the formation season. Type genius in the comments if what I said about how the formation season affects your mind made sense to you. Type genius if you feel the tightening and weight and want to get ready for the arrival season with all of your strengths back. Now, it's time for me to talk about something I've been building up to the whole message. The word that God made sure you found isn't just about the threshold. It's not just about the mental side of things. What is it that the threshold opens into? I'd like to name that right now, before we move on to the sacred closing. God made sure you found this on time, because big things are going to happen. The threshold you are standing on leads to something that is proportional to the full scope of your formation. This means that it is proportional to everything you went through, everything you held, and every day you chose to keep going. All of that is geared toward the arrival that is about to happen on the other side of the threshold where you are standing now. The chosen one who reads this word in this window is the one who crosses the threshold equipped, clear, and ready to receive the full scope of what is about to happen. You have been chosen. We are now in the sacred closing, and I want to enter it the same way I always do, with full presence and no hurry. There is weight to what was said in this message, and I want that weight to land fully before this hour ends. To start, I'd like to say something I'm thankful for, not as a religious duty, but as something that is really true right now. I'm glad you didn't scroll past. I'm glad that you stopped and stayed where this message found you. no matter what you were doing, thinking, or carrying. Because the chosen one who stops and stays with this word during a time when many things are trying to get their attention and the formation is heavy, is making a choice that matters. Making that choice takes faith, and God does not ignore faith. I'm thankful for the weight you've been carrying. Weight is good not because it is good in and of itself, but because it has made you stronger. The person who has been chosen and has reached the threshold or the window that is about to open did not just happen to be there. They made it because they kept going through a tough time that most people would have given up on. The quality that is in you right now, the deep knowing, the firm conviction, and the resilience that doesn't do anything but exist because of how you are built now, is the result of that carrying. I'm glad you didn't put it down. You're still alive. You're here. You got this word just in time. All three of those things are big. They show that you were still alive during the formation season. It gave birth to you. The version of you that you are right now is the exact version that the coming season needs, and you are ready. I now let you go. I free you from the weight of every coincidence you ignored because your protective skepticism told you not to believe what you felt. It's natural to think that every time a word, an encounter, or a confirmation came your way, you should have ignored it as nothing. It's not wrong, but it's kept you from fully experiencing many things that God put in your way. You are now free from that reflex. I'm not doing this to make you naive, but so you can fully receive what is being put in your path. I free you from the weight of the gap, the specific, long-lasting weight of the space between what you know is coming and what has already happened on the outside. There was a gap there. There was real weight. There was a real cost to keeping your faith through it. Not one of it is less important to me. I'm now freeing you from the duty to keep carrying it. The gap is getting smaller. The threshold is getting clearer. You don't have to keep the same posture that helped you get through the gap. The way you stand should be like that of someone walking through the closing gap into the arrival, open, moving, and taking in. I set you free from the mental weight of the formation season, the heaviness that settled in your mind from holding on to something unresolved for months and years. I free you from the narrowing that happened, not because your mind got weaker, but because the season's weight pressed on it in ways that made the channel smaller. That narrowing will not last forever. The channel starts up. The clarity comes back. I also let go of the idea that the heavy feeling you had during the formation season is the way your mind always feels. It's not. Seasonal changes cause it. It's also getting warmer. I free you from the loneliness of the threshold, the kind of loneliness that comes from knowing what you're carrying and being on the edge of something big without anyone else being able to see it with you. That loneliness is real, and I'm not going to hide it from you. I'm freeing you from having to carry it by yourself. You're not the only one who feels this way. The same God has been with you every day of the formation season. He made it possible for you to find this word at the right time. This is what He can see you. He knows what is about to happen and is with you at the threshold. I free you from the habit of downplaying what's coming. The chosen one who went through a long formation season may not be able to fully receive what is opening when they get to the threshold. This is not because their arrival is not important, but because the habits they learned during the formation season taught them to hold back the magnitude of their expectations as a way to protect themselves. Now you don't have to do that. During the arrival season, there is no need for protected expectation. It calls for an open mind. It's real that big things are going to happen, and you can expect them to. I forgive all the words that were said over you during the formation season that named you by your current position instead of your call. Every word that told people where you were instead of what you were carrying or where you were going. Those words did not accurately describe the person who was chosen. They were ideas that were formed without the information that the formation season was keeping inside. They don't have control over the arrival season, so I'm taking their weight off of you. Now, I need to add something to the push. I only just spoke because there is a part of the chosen one's formation season weight that I haven't named yet. And I want to name it before this message ends because I think it's important for the person reading or hearing it. There is a weight that comes from the choices you didn't make during the formation season and the chances you missed because the time wasn't right. The paths you didn't take because the call you were holding told you to go in a different direction. The things you turned down or didn't go after because you knew in your heart that the time needed you to hold on to the thing you were holding on to instead of going after the other thing. Those decisions were the right ones. It was the chosen one who had the specific call during the formation season, who made the right choices, even when it cost them something. It's possible to feel grief, regret, or low-level doubt when you think about what you didn't do. I take that weight off of you. The choices you made during the formation season were the right ones for that season, and what you are facing now in the arrival season is partly because of those choices. The things you didn't work on during the formation season gave the arrival season the specific attention, interior space, and direction alignment it needed to get off the ground. I also want to talk about how heavy time is. Sometimes, the person who is chosen at the threshold carries a certain grief about the time that the formation season needed, about the years and what they did or did not get done during those years compared to a timeline they made up or thought would happen. I want to free you from your sadness. It's not lost time that the formation season took place. It's time that was spent. What's on the other side of the threshold you're standing at now is the interest that has been added to that investment over time. The years weren't taken, they were planted, which means that the harvest is equal to the length and depth of the sowing. I free you from the pain of time. I free you from the regret of what the formation asked of you. Let go of the habit of comparing the formation season to a timeline you made up and finding it lacking. What happened during the formation season is what should have happened, not because pain is good in and of itself, but because the exact thing that needed to be made in you needed that long of a time. And what was made is exactly what the arrival season needs. One more statement to make before this message ends. People who were meant to receive this message did so not by chance or by following a set of rules. God made sure of it. It's a promise from God that He will pay attention to the whole story of your life. It was the same God who made sure you found this word at the right time, that has been making sure you have had everything you need during this formation season. The right words, people, and moments of confirmation showed up at the right times, and that the formation was made with your assignment in mind. He didn't start to pay attention now. He has been following along the whole time, and the arrival season isn't him becoming interested in how your story goes. It's clear proof of how much he cared about your story from the very beginning. You got this right on time. The threshold is getting clearer. The arrival is beginning. And the same God who made sure you found this word is also making sure that what's on the other side of the threshold is exactly what He told you it would be when He called you at the start of the journey. Have faith and walk in it. Enter the next part. God made sure. And what God promises will never fail. Now I'm going to say that you are the chosen one that God put in the right place at the right time to find this word. That placement wasn't a mistake. It was carefully put together. And just the fact that you are here, reading this message, at this very moment, is the first sign of what is about to happen on the other side of this threshold. You are ready for what's to come. Fully, not mostly, not almost. The formation season didn't really get you ready. It was the end of the preparation. You bring what the job asks of you. As a base, you have been through what the arrival season calls for, and the version of you that goes into what's opening next is the version that was made to go into what's opening. You got this right on time, not because you were lucky, but because God made sure you would be. And what God makes sure takes place is important. This is the exact step of the person who is carefully planning the plot of your story and has a full picture of what lies ahead, that you don't head from where you are. He knows what's going to happen. He got you ready for it. He put this word in your path at just the right time. And he told you right now that you are the chosen one who is ready for what's next. That's how it is. Yes. If you get that promise, type, "I am ready," in the comments. That should help you get in line with what God has put you on the edge of. Press the like button on this message slowly. People who were chosen and found something real here honor what God did by pressing the like button. Do it right now. Please send this message to one person today. The person you care about who is going through a formation season and needs to hear that God made sure they found something in time. They are known to you. Send this to them. The message was meant to reach them through you. If you subscribe, the next word God puts in your path will come straight to you on this channel. If the cognitive weight of the formation season hit home, if you felt the recognition of the narrowing and heaviness I talked about, the genius switch is the tool that will help you. Though 8,000 a day for 39. The clarity that the arrival season needs. For those who have been chosen and are ready to walk into what is opening, the link is there. God made sure you found it in time. Take it as it is. The threshold is getting clearer. The arrival is beginning. You are the chosen one that God put in the right place, got ready for, and said, "You are ready for what's next." Enter it. You can have it. One more thing. There is someone right on the edge of this message. The edge where they can almost feel the arrival. But the last step feels the biggest. To that person, I want to say that the last step into the arrival season is the same step that got you through all the other forms. Putting one foot in front of the other. Faith that comes before proof. The position of the chosen one who walks toward what God said would happen instead of waiting for it to happen completely before moving. Do it. It was important to God that you found this at the right time. He didn't just leave you at the threshold. He put you at the threshold because the crossing is coming up soon. Oh. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment, a place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall. Share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit out community now, join the family, and see your heavens open.